What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Ostrich Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Avengers wave with the Build-A-Figure of Puff Adder. So we have a lot of cool figures in this wave, again, all connected to the Avengers. So first up, we have the ultimate version of Captain America, which looks awesome. Love Captain America, so having it in the ultimate's cool. And to go with that, we got Baron von Strucker, which looks awesome there in his Hydra outfit. Then we have Yelena Belova. Of course, we know her more from the MCU movies, but looks pretty awesome with the comic version. And then our back row, we have Wonder Man in his weird red jacket thing, a different look for Wonder Man, but still cool to have him. The Orb, which is crazy with that big eye, and then Molecule Man, which looks cool as well. Love the purple and green colors there, so those look pretty cool as well. And again, we have that Puff Adder, so there's Puff Adder there on the side with all the figures that build it. So we have most of the figures in this wave. We didn't get the Extremis Iron Man because it didn't come with a Puff Adder piece, so trying to cut back where we can, and don't need that figure to build Puff Adder, so we decided to skip out on it. But the rest of these figures look really cool, so hopefully they're as awesome as they look. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. And we're going to start off with the Ultimate Captain America, which is Steve Rogers from Earth 1610, and he pretty much has similar origins and story as the 616 Steve Rogers, so our normal standard Steve Rogers, but the world is more realistic and his powers are more superhuman, and pretty much what the MCU is based on. So the MCU version of Captain America we see is pretty much the Ultimate's version, except that the Ultimate version tends to be more hardcore, like he's a hardcore American and believes that everything America does is right. So he tends to be more hardcore and a little bit less of the Boy Scout like the 616 Captain America is, but he's still pretty cool, and I love this outfit and figure design overall. He just looks really cool. So it's got the ultimate design, so it just looks like your normal Captain America, just a little more updated and everything. So we have the head there, and he's got the fatter like Captain America face. I don't know why they tend to give him just like such a fatter face, at least it always looks fat to me, but still pretty decent. It looks like Captain America and has the total head covering with the A up on top of his head. No wings or anything for him, but his ears do stick out of the sides. And then we go down to his red, white, and blue outfit. So we have the blue scaling up top, much like the classic version's white star on the chest, but the noticeable difference is that he's got this gray under his arm. So a lot of times you'll see some gray under the arms, notifying it's the ultimate version. And then he tends to have things up on his shoulders, so he's got stars in the red and white stars there, white on the arms going into the red gloves, red and white stripes there in the midsection, and I like the texture and stuff on him, so there's a lot of texture running through the costume. Brown belt with a bunch of pockets, even the canteen back there, blue pants, and they kind of look more like jeans or like a military type pants, all the way down to the red boots. So again, it's like the classic look with especially like the fatter sections up on top. So it's supposed to be like that classic design, but in a more modern style where it's got buckles and stuff there filling in that. So it overall looks pretty cool. I do have some issues with this figure standing. Not sure if there's something wrong with the feet, but he kind of wobbles back and forth, so you got to give him in that right position. But just the look overall is really cool. And since I love Captain America's, this is a really cool figure. So definitely glad they made a new one and an awesome one to throw onto my shelf now. But we can do the movements, so the head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so pretty good movements. It's real stiff in there, but good movements overall. Shoulders can come up to 90. You got to kind of force it down there, so it can come up to 90, even a little bit over there, and it can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend that far up on itself, so a lot of stiffness in the joints, and these are all a pinless body. So like I've said in the past, a lot of times with the pinless body, the joints get real stiff, so we have that issue there where it's just real stiff moving back and forth. The wrist can twist all the way around, and flex this as a hand for up and down there. And then we get the ab crunches, so we have the upper ab crunch, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. And then he should twist at the waist as well. Yeah, he can twist there, but his belt's kind of in the way, overlapping there, but he can twist around at the waist. Then we get the hips that can come up to 90 there and out to the side. Ooh, not far from doing the splits. We get a thigh twist that twists all the way around, the double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, so not too bad. A shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements, no real issues, just some stiffness in the joints, but that's kind of common now, like I said, especially for the pinless joint body, so that's what we're dealing with here. So not too bad though, like I said, and then just some issues with like weakness in the ankles, so he falls back and forth a little bit, so you just got to give him that right position to keep him standing. Now accessory wise, we get some cool stuff, so we get some extra hands. So he's got a grip hand and then like an open hand for throwing the shield, but we get a set of fists to go along with it. We also get an additional head, so this one just has an angry face on it, so if you want to have his gritted teeth and stuff there, you can have that ready for fighting. And then of course we have to have the Captain America shield. So in this universe, the shield is made out of strictly adamantium. Of course this is just a plastic shield, but just in this universe there's no vibranium built into it, but looks pretty cool there. We of course have the peg that can go into his back, so we can stick this in. I like how lower down it is, so it's lower than the star, so it sits on there a little bit better. Or then of course we have the little grip piece that we can flip this piece out and give us the grip, and we can put this on his arm. So there he's got the shield on his arm, and I was trying to get him posed around to look like he was trying to throw the shield, especially with that hand he has on here, but I couldn't get it to look good, so I just posed it up here. And there is one issue with this stupid clip. Of course, I'll probably have to pop it up here so you can see it, is that unfortunately it's starting to whiten, so this is easily going to break, which has happened to a lot of my Captain America figures, which stinks a lot. So usually I then have to just flip this down and use the grip and put that like in his grip hand there, the little peg piece. So that just kind of stinks. They need to come up with something new so this doesn't happen on the Captain America figures. I really don't like having the broken clips on there, so then I can't use it. But there we have the Ultimate Captain America there with his shield and everything. And we have had an older figure. I thought we've had different ones and more recent that looked, you know, much similar to this. Just obviously this was a redo, but the only one I could really find was this version, which is an old one because I think the Toy Biz or whatever, or at least the old Marvel, because it's got the ball hips there. So this was the closest one, and it was labeled as an Ultimate Captain America. So I guess this is the closest thing that we have to it. So definitely a much needed upgrade for this figure, because this one's really hard to stand and looks weird and everything. So this one definitely looks much more like it does in the comics and looks really cool. And just overall, I love this design for the Captain American. Such an awesome figure for me, at least someone who loves Captain America. So a great addition to the collection. And perfect to go along with Captain America, we have Baron von Strucker, which is also known as Wolfgang von Strucker, and he joined the Nazi Party during the 1930s, and during World War II, he rose through the ranks until he secretly created his own personal military force known as Hydra. And so we can see him here, he looks pretty awesome, but he was infected with the death spore virus that suppressed his aging and gave him a healing factor, and I believe that's some of what the stuff is there on his face, is some of that death spore virus. And overall, he just looks cool, you know, decked out in Hydra with the green and yellow, and looks very awesome with the Hydra logo on his chest. So we have the skull with the tentacles there. He only has 6 tentacles, which is kind of weird for an octopus, but looks pretty cool overall. And then there we've got his face. You can see he's got his face all messed up, and so like I said, he's got the de-aging. So I think he ages slowly, or he could just stay looking the same age. He looks a little bit older, but that's probably just the age he was. But it looks pretty weird. His teeth are a little bit big and messed up there, but I love the like vein or scarring, whatever it is there through his face. I love he always got the monocle and how that's just stuck there on his eyes and the nice bald head. Then we got, like I said, the Hydra colors of the green and yellow. So he's got this nice bright green scarf, which is so bright green, just stands out a lot. And with the yellow designs and bands running through, darker green on the body, spandex running all through it. Again, bright green gloves, bright green underwear with a yellow belt with the H on it for Hydra, green going down the legs to the bright green boots with yellow at the top. And then he's got the Satan Claw Gauntlet, which amplifies his strength and emits electrical shock. So he's got this nice little gauntlet piece there on his hand as well that stands out there with the red. So overall, he just looks really cool here. And for a moment to get the head that can twist all the way around, it's going to be hard because of the scarf, but it can twist all the way around there. You can look down that far, and I like how the chain goes down under the scarf piece and up that far as well. So nice movements overall there. The shoulders do come up. You have to be careful with the cords and stuff, but can come up to 90 and rotate around within there. We got a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. Again, pinless body, so pretty stiff joints for it, and wrist can twist around and flex back and forth with the gauntlet. Then we get the ab crunch, so we get the crunch in center, forward and back, so nice crunching there back and forth. And I like how the tentacles kind of stretch there. That's pretty fun. Twist all the way around at the waist, and his belt got twisted all the way around. There it is, back to the front, hips up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist around, double knee joint that can bend up again real stiff with the pinless joints, at least that far. Yeah, it looks like the back of the joints there hidden, so that far at least. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements. Once again, pinless joints, so a little bit of stiffness, but other than that, still good movements and range overall for him. And the only accessory he really comes with is some effects. I don't really know what they're supposed to be unless it's like the electrical effects that are supposed to be from his gauntlet, but we got him for both arms, but I assume we can just take and wrap these around his arm. So again, there's those effects wrapped around his hands. Again, don't know why they're around both hands. If he has some additional powers I just don't know about, and he probably over the years had many different powers added and taken away and stuff, but looks pretty cool around there on the gauntlet and his hands and stuff. You know, adds a splash of color with that dark pinkish purple color there on the all green body, so it makes it stand out quite a bit, but he just looks awesome. I love this classic design for Strucker. It just looks really awesome and love all the colors. And to go along with him, we have Red Skull as well, again a part of Hydra, so the 2 leaders of Hydra there. I wish Red Skull now matched more of the colors of Strucker, because I just love the color designs on him now. I wish it would be much brighter with brighter yellows and greens and stuff like that, but just both of those look really cool together, all standing out for Hydra and stuff. Look pretty awesome there together, so awesome to have a Strucker that add to our collection. And then we've got Yelena Belova, which was an exemplar trainee of the Red Room Academy to become the best Black Widow and try to surpass Natalia Romanova. But in the comics, Natalia ends up setting up a scheme that showed her that being a spy meant she was just being used, and this caused Yelena to abandon the Red Room and take on her own life. And on a mission, she was severely burned by a Sauron attack and picked up by the Hydra agents and taken to AIM, who gave her the powers of Super Adaptoid, which with the Super Adaptoid powers just meant she was able to replicate powers and abilities of anyone she went against, and that was on top of her being a master of martial arts and espionage, as well as having peak human conditioning and being an Olympic level gymnast. So she's pretty much just like Black Widow, just a different character, and as I mentioned, we've seen her more recently in the MCU movies, and pretty cool to see her there. But this is her comic version where she looks pretty awesome, and again taken over. I think this is the Super Adaptoid form with the weird eyes on her head, and I like how, you know, Black Widow spider gives her more eyes, so it's like she's a spider there, so it looks pretty creepy there face wise with those additional red dots around there. But she's got the long blonde hair again, just how we see her in the MCU, and then she's in the all black outfit, pretty similar to Black Widow, so the all black spandex, and I like the little texture there up around her neck. That's some interesting detail thrown in there. But then she's got the belt around the waist, so the brown belt with the Black Widow logo there, and then just pockets and a holster on the side, and black continuing all the way down to her feet. So there's not a whole lot to her look wise. Like I said, we have the stuff there on her face, so you can see her skin and the black lipstick, and then that weird mechanic stuff there on her eyes that looks pretty interesting. But like I said, not a whole lot to her beyond that, but she does look pretty cool, and awesome to have her comic version here. But for Moonskid the head, we'll see how well it twists because of the hair. Yeah, it doesn't really twist around very well. I'm sure you can force it all the way around. It just is pretty weird. And then she can look down that far and then up probably just straight on because of her hair. Yeah, that's as far as up as I can get it there. The shoulders can come up to 90, a little bit over actually, and rotate around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation in it, and the wrist can twist around and flex. This one has an up and down flex. Then we get the ab crunch, so she has the ab crunch right under her chest, so crunch back and forth and twist around there. And then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist that can twist around. Of course, we have the strap on there, so you gotta twist this leg all the way around. And the knee joint that can bend up there, it can bend at least up that far, and you can see we have pins in this joint and the single elbow joint, so an older body here. And then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So not too bad in movements. Like I said, it is the older body, so we don't get as good of range movements, but the joints are much easier to move and stuff. No stiffness or anything in them. Now, accessory wise, since she is like Black Widow, she's going to come with like a lot of guns and stuff, but for those guns, we get some additional hands. So we get a fist hand and a grip hand with the trigger fingers, so the opposite of what we have. So we'll probably want the trigger fingers to use the weapons and stuff. And with those weapons, first we get some pistols. So we have a pistol with a silencer on it, and then just a standard pistol. And I like how it's like that more futuristic or alien version with the weird design to it and stuff. So it doesn't look like a standard just pistol, but they both look pretty cool there. And now we do have the holster on the thigh, so I assume we can put this in. I don't know if the one with the silencer will fit in there. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going through the hole. So let's put the one without the silencer down in the holster here. So it fits right in the holster there like that. So we have that on her waist, and then we can also put the gun in her hand. So let's maybe put it in this hand. So there she has that pistol in her hand, and to go along with it, she also comes with a sniper rifle. So we get this big sniper rifle, probably similar to the ones we've got with Black Widow in the past. And I like how it's the strap, so we can put it around her if we want, but let's just try putting it in her hand for now. So there we just have the sniper rifle there, so you can have it in her hand, or we could put it in both hands, you know, get rid of this gun and put it in there. But it's cool, she has that sniper rifle, and then we also get some effects for the gun. So we get some bullet effects. So we have these, so we can put this in the end of the gun here. So there you can have the blast effect, and we also get the smoke effects like we've had in the past, so we could stick one of these in the end of the gun. So there's the smoke effect in the end of the gun. So again, you can have all those different options, and they'll work on the sniper as well and the other pistol, so you can just kind of pick and choose whatever you want. But very cool to have Yelena here in her Black Widow form. And then we also have the old Black Widow, so this was just the retro Black Widow I chose to use. So there you can see the comparisons between them. Of course, this one is much more newer design wise compared to this Black Widow, but just thought they looked pretty cool both in the black there, and pretty awesome to have both versions of Black Widow now. And then we've got Wonder Man, which is Simon Williams, and after embezzling money and working with the Maggia family to save his family business, Simon was facing prison time, but was saved by Baron Zemo and recruited into the Masters of Evil, and he became a test subject for Zemo's ionic ray treatment that imbued him with superpowers as Wonder Man. But however, with these powers, he would die if he didn't get regular treatments with an antidote, so he turned to the Avengers for help, and he gained their trust, but died before they could end up saving him. But instead of dying, his body just just went into a coma where it morphed into superhuman flesh that was nourished by ionic energy, and then he started working with the Avengers and later became an actor. So we have him here, and I believe his actor form, at least by what I could find, this is what it seems like he kind of looked like when he was an actor, with his like good looks and the crazy outfits and stuff. And overall looks cool. It's obviously not the Wonder Man I would care about because he's got the weird red jacket. The older figure we have him, I'll show you, is what I picture Wonder Man to look like and stuff, but he still looks pretty cool, and it's awesome to have him this newer body and stuff with the pinless joints and design and everything, but looks pretty crazy. So there he's got his face, so he's got this nice cheesy smile with the red glasses on, like chin like pretty stupid with the red glasses, but he's got those on, and his nice swept back hair and stuff, so nice perfectly combed hair with a blue turtleneck underneath and the red jacket. People call it a safari jacket, I don't really know why, but just a red jacket on over the top with the double pockets and the nice silver zipper, even though it's kind of opened here at the bottom, which is weird. Long sleeves going down until he's got the bands, and then a nice gold belt around his waist that has some like stuff that are like rocket packs, so allow him to fly there, which is pretty cool. Then black pants, baggy pants going all the way down to the boots. So these look like the rags from that Red Skull, and then he's got red boots on his feet to match his jacket. So again, looks pretty cool. It's just not the design for Wonder Man I like, but for a figure, I think it looks pretty interesting. But we can do the movements, so his head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so not the best movements in the neck there. And then we get the shoulders that can come up, again a little bit stiff there, we can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, almost all the way up on itself, which is good, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so his is just right at his waist, so he can crunch back and forth a little bit and twist all the way around. And then the hips can come up pretty close to 90. It's hard because of the jacket piece, so up that far and out to the side, thigh twist around, double knee joint that bends up that far to the back. He can kick his butt, and then we get a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth, a little bit stiff back and forth, and twist side to side. So once again, pretty decent movements. Again, the pinless joints, so a little bit stiff, but otherwise pretty good range. He's got the best range of any of the figures so far, so that's good. And for his powers, he has the ionic energy that gives him superhuman strength, speed, agility, and reflexes, and makes him immortal. And as I mentioned, he has the jetpacks on his waist, so with those we do get some effects that we can put in. So you can see they have the holes there, so we get some like of the bullet effect thing. So we have them in orange here that we can stick into the side to make it like, you know, rocket boosters flying. So there are the rockets on each of the sides. So of course they're right next to his jacket, so he'll kind of be burning up his jacket and stuff, but he's got those now so he can fly around and everything. And then we don't really get much of anything else to show his powers, except we get some like hands with the claw like designs, whatever there, but don't really know what to do with those and how they'd show his powers and stuff besides his strength. But yeah, we get those as well to go along with him. And as I mentioned, we do have the older figure. So again, this is the Wonder Man that I know and recognize and stuff, looks like this. So it'd be awesome to have this figure just in a new pinless body and stuff, but cool to still get at least a different version. Again, this is kind of an iconic version that people recognize a lot, so it is cool that we have it. And like I said, it does stand out as a figure. I just wouldn't recognize it as Wonder Man if I didn't know from this, but pretty cool to have him. And like I said, he does look pretty good for a figure and has good movements and stuff, so figure wise it's really good. So just if you like this design, I can highly recommend it. And next up we have the Orb, which is a crazy looking character, but the Orb was a child born with a head that was a giant eyeball, and because of this he was neglected by his mother and ended up being raised by a freak show instead. And he eventually became a mercenary and a foe for Ghost Rider, and he stole the left eye of Uatu the Watcher and unleashed the secrets of the universe. And so for his powers, he's got extra sensory ability to see things others can't. It's hard not to with a giant eye, and he has the Watcher's powers to be aware of everything that has happened in the universe, so every time he comes across somebody, he knows their whole history. And he's also got superhuman strength, energy blast, and an eye beam. So again, that's mostly from the Watcher's powers, but looks pretty cool here. And as you can tell, as I didn't kind of go into, he was a stunt performer as well. It has like that Evil Knievel style outfit on here, and it probably looks like a Bucky Cap body just by the design. You know, it looks like Captain America. It looks like they took a Captain America body and just repainted it and added a collar around his neck. But then we've got the big eye head, which looks crazy, and the eye design looks pretty cool. It looks very realistic and stuff for that eye with all the bloodshot veins and stuff running through it. Looks pretty crazy there, but then you can see his human neck down there, which is cool. And then like I said, the all body with the red, white, and blue design, all red spandex with the collar piece, white gloves, white boots, belt around the waist has some blue and white pockets there, and then the blue straps going up with the stars on them around the back there. So looks pretty crazy and cool at the same time, but it is on that older body, so it's got the pin joints and like I said, probably the Bucky cap, so it feels really old and worn out and like it's already been messed up in our storage when it's a brand brand new figure. But we'll do his movements, so his head can twist all the way around, or his eye, I should say, twist around. He can look down that far and up that far, so decent movements there. You know, we have the collar to worry about, so could move more without that, but good movements there. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so we have the upper ab crunch forward there and back, so pretty good crunching back and forth there. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side, not far from doing the splits again. Then we get the thigh twists all the way around, double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, not too bad. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So once again, pretty decent movements for an older body. You know, it doesn't have the best movements ever, but it's pretty decent for what it's got. It could have a little bit better range though, but again, would have been awesome to have this on the newer body, pinless body, but it's pretty decent for what we've got. It just won't hold up too well over time. And the only accessory it comes with is a ray gun. So in the comics, he's been pictured using a ray gun. So we get the gun here, which looks pretty crazy with that design. Looks kind of like an eye there on the front and stuff, but pretty awesome gun there that we can take and put this into his hand. So there's the orb with his ray gun there. So that looks pretty cool and pretty awesome, interesting character. I love the collar design, stands out a lot. And then that big eye on his head is just pretty crazy there. So pretty interesting. But as I mentioned, he's a villain of Ghost Rider. So I just found this Ghost Rider figure. I don't know which is Ghost Rider exactly it is that he's like the villain of, but I just picked this Ghost Rider, this newer retro one we have, because I like this one a lot. So there we have Ghost Rider and Orb that can face off together. But pretty cool to add this interesting looking character to our collection. And then we've got our last character of the wave, which is Molecule Man, also known as Owen Reese. And he was working as a lowly lab technician in a nuclear plant when he accidentally activated a particle generator that hit him with an unknown radiation. And this mutated him to release psionic powers with the ability to control all matter down to the molecular level, and left lightning bolt markings on his face. So we got those markings there. And with his powers, he has force field generation, energy blast, hyperspace travel, and later on multiversal reality bending, so he can do a lot of crazy stuff. And in old comics, he used to use a steel rod as a wand to focus his power, so it would have been cool to get that with him as well. But he looks pretty cool and looks pretty much how he does out the comics, except for the face. This looks like a much like younger version, I guess, because for the comics he looks older, with his hair still like slicked back, but it's much shorter and almost like balding, so I assume he's older with those, but still looks pretty cool. And like I said, it has the younger looking face with the lightning bolts, so that's pretty cool, that design they added on there. But I like his hair as well. It reminds me of like Quicksilver with the hair like just being swept back there into the points, almost like Wolverine, so pretty cool for that. And then he's got the all green and purple body, so pretty much all green suit. Again, looks like it's using stuff from like that Red Skull on the pants and the sleeves there, but then it has a nice midsection with the purple, almost like lightning bolts around his waist as a belt, and then the sections going up for the shoulder pads there all the way around in the purple with the lightning bolts and zags and stuff. So that looks pretty cool. His normal hands there, and then purple boots on his feet, so pretty basic looking, but with the green and purple it stands out quite a bit and just pops for him. But for movements, we get the head that twists all the way around. It looks like his neck's twisting, so we have a joint there in the lower neck as well, and then you can look down that far and up that far, so a little bit of movement back and forth. Then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90 and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends pretty much all the way up on itself. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. And then we get the ab crunch, so in the middle there, crunch forward, crunch back, so pretty decent crunching. Not as good as forward as is back, but still got it there. And again, I love the movement in the abs there. That's cool. Twist all the way around at the waist. The hips can come up a little. It's hard to get up to 90 again because of skirting, but you can't force it there. Out to the side, can do the splits. A thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that bends up that far, can kick his butt in the back. And then we get a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex, which it feels really stiff on this foot, can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements overall. Again, with this pinless body, joints are stiff, but overall he moves pretty well and decent, so can't complain too much about him. So like his look and like the movement, so pretty good figure. Now accessory wise, he has some like claw hands on there, so we get a set of fist hands, again I guess for some of his powers with the claw hands or whatever, but nice fist hands there. And with those we can also use some Hasbro effects, which I guess are some of his energy blasts or whatever we can put onto his fist. So let me switch his fist out to put these on. So there I got the effects on his hands. They don't really sit on too well. It's hard to get him to really stick on the fist there, but there Molecule Man has his fist now for his energy blast, which looks pretty cool, adding more of that purple color into him, so he looks awesome there. And that brings us to our Build-A-Figure of Puff-Adder, which is Gordon Fraley, and he became a costume criminal after his mutant powers manifested, and he joined up with the Serpent Society. And his mutant powers is he has the ability to puff up or enlarge his body, and he breathes a toxic gas that can melt through metal. So talk about bad breath. But he's known as Puff-Adder, which Puff-Adder is a snake, which is a venomous viper from the grasslands of Africa. So again, named after a snake, much like every other character in the Serpent Society. And looks pretty cool overall. So he's a Build-A-Figure, so he's got the bigger, larger body. We'll see that when we bring in other characters and stuff. So pretty standard, big, large body for a Build-A-Figure, and looks pretty awesome. So there we've got his face. So you can see his face in there, which I like that his eyes are all white and covers up most of his mouth in there. And then he's got the snake head covering up on top with its white eyes as well. So that's pretty cool. I'm not too crazy about the colors. Like the colors just kind of weird and stand out. I didn't realize this was supposed to be, you know, like almost like a diamondback design running down him. I just thought it was weird paint like on his chest there, and a different like pale green color that matches the head going into the lighter green that stands out a bit, and then the dark like teal color there on the arms and legs. So just kind of weird like color wise overall for him, but those colors run all throughout the body. We got those diamonds there more on his forearms and on his shins, and then bright green gloves and boots there on his feet. So looks pretty cool, but like I said, color wise could be a little bit better, but it looks how he does in the comics, so it's hard to complain about that. But we'll do the movement, so his head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so good head movements there. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the single elbow joint that bends to 90 there, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch forward, crunch back, so decent crunching there, especially forward for him, more forward than back. Twist all the way around at the waist. The hips can come up a little bit there under 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, almost kicking his butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So good movements, especially for a Build-A-Figure. Obviously not the best movements ever, but for what he's got, he moves pretty well, so it's pretty nice there having that movement of him. So he looks awesome there. And now having him, we can add in with the rest of our Serpent Society. So we have a lot of members now. I still don't believe the team is complete, but we have a lot of them, so let's go and bring them in. So there's all our Marvel Legends of the Serpent Society. Now adding Puff-Adder in there, it gives us 7 different characters, which is pretty crazy for a nice big group here. And again, there's more characters to go, and then we could use some improvements like this guy here because he has the old ball hips, so definitely need a new improvement there, and some of the characters are very outdated, but still look pretty cool altogether, a part of the Serpent Society, and awesome to be able to add Puff-Adder to him now. Well, that's going to be it for our Marvel Legends Avengers wave with the Build-A-Figure of Puff-Adder, where we had a lot of cool characters in this wave of the Ultimate Captain America, Baron Von Strucker, Yelena Belova, Wonder Man, the Orb, and Molecule Man. So a lot of cool characters in this wave, really interesting looks and designs. You know, pretty much no repeats except for Captain America. So awesome to be able to add all these new characters into our collection. So let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, let me know a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.